amazing. But something was weird with trying to get that feed into OBS or...
Is that what it was? Again, I'm willing to fuck around with this stuff. We just have to schedule something and...
Yeah, it's finding the time to tinker.
We couldn't broadcast it out for whatever reason, connecting it.
The Discord connection?
I mean, it could have changed within the last couple of years, because it's been almost a couple of years since we tried it.
True.
Almost scared to fuck with Restream, too, because we still have those 2 streams free, and I always see advertisements for, like, go to Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. Should we have Kick also? Is Kick the nudie one?
Who uses Kick?
You've heard of that, right, Cesar?
Yeah, they were buying up talent for a while.
Did you guys get a go live?
Yes.
Just wish we had Mixer.
Beam.
Mixer was awesome. Beam. It was Beam first.
Beam.
My bad. Cesar's like, don't disrespect Beam.
Yeah, they were buying up talent for a while. Did you guys get a go live?
Alright, cool. Yeah, I had that extra audio source in there. I think I was fucking with some stuff before. Like when I would be muted when we went live. Oh. Don't allow no nudie pics going to my iCloud storage. So that's our sports update. You keeping up with playoff basketball?
Yeah, I mean, we only got 2 games left. West is pretty much locked up outside of Clippers and Dallas.
You think they're going to blow up the Suns and get rid of that super team?
What killed them was lack of a bench. They didn't have a bench.
Because they paid all those guys, right?
Yeah. I mean, Ibris, that guy doesn't, whatever his name is, who owns that team, doesn't know what he's doing. So, I don't even think it's Frank Vogel's fault as a coach. I'm sure he'll be fired for it though. But
the coach always takes the fall. Hey, he's got a ring. I guess he's wanting to try to do it on his own.
Yeah, I mean he won one with the Lakers, so I mean Darvin Ham's probably gonna get fired from the Lakers too. So,
Bush says coach is here. Wait, there's another individual we refer to as coach. Are you also a coach now? Coach adjacent? Coach perpendicular?
Oh, it's Coach perpendicular.
Lost my keyboard there for a second. It's always Coach perpendicular.
Yeah.
Oh, the TNT guys are on. They've put up a like the marker where somebody dies, the chalkboard where Kenny fell. Mm-hmm. Kenny fell yesterday.
Hey man, you got to enjoy this year because they fucked up. So Max doesn't want to pay money anymore for basketball, so their exclusive deal ran out. So I think NBC came out and said, "Yeah, we'll do $2.5 billion for basketball games." They're trying to take it from
no more TNT, no more Ernie Johnson.
Trying to take it all from TNT, yeah, because the TNT wants it for $1.5 billion, and NBC just came out like, "Oh, y'all fucked up," and they just put out $2.5 billion. And I don't think they're going to outbid them because their Max is not trying to spend any money.
Damn.
So that means that no more basketball games on TNT. So.
Fuck. End of an era.
Unless they poach them and put it on NBC, so.
That would happen before anything else. I would imagine. Baby coach.
Mm-hmm.
Bush says he's the baby coach. Did that Sony purchasing? Who was Sony gonna purchase? Like Max or Paramount or something?
Sony was looking at teaming up with somebody to purchase Paramount, but yeah. I think Paramount still has an exclusive deal with Skydance until next week.
Did that ever go anywhere? Oh, until next week, and then they can talk about it next week.
It's 30 days exclusivity. I think they're still trying to work out a deal because they were going to just buy out Redstone. She owns the company, but they was not going to pay premium to any of the stockholders. So I think they've kind of since then walked it back and is going to distribute some of that money to the stockholders. So.
What's Redstone? The fuck?
Sherry Redstone is the owner of. She's the owner of Paramount.
Mrs. Redstone.
I just call her Redstone.
I heard. I was like, who's that? We're on a last name basis.
Yeah, I mean, she's been she's been trying to sell that company for a long time because originally she had Viacom separate from CBS, and she owned both, and then she spent all that time to merge them together so she can get a good deal on selling them. So she's been working on this for like 10 years. I mean, she merged them like maybe 6 or 7 years ago. So she's been trying to sell for a minute.
Oof.
She about to make bank because I think the Skydance was offering to give her like $2 billion to buy her out. So
Who does Skydance
But none of that
have?
was
I've
gonna-
heard that before.
they work a lot with Tom Cruise, so they're a production company that does like Mission Impossible and all the other stuff. Top Gun.
Are they
They don't own those IPs, but they help finance.
Are they funded by a certain affiliation of organized religion that Mr. Cruz also belongs to?
I don't think so.
Is this Skydance a laundering for the fellow scientists?
For Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh man, was there a video game based off of that?
I don't know, man. That's like the
Let's
only
hope
thing
not.
I know Ron Hubbard ever made. So I'm sure he made other things, but that's like the only thing I know.
Oh boy. All right, I think we got our max. We got 4 people in here. Speaking of max, big episode 300. Did you get a go live notification? Curious. All of y'all did, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thought so. Just checking. We all.
And Renee was nice enough to retweet us going live on his Twitter
Renee, you're the best.
of now.
Friend of the show, Renee. Renee's the best of all time. All time great, Renee.
Is Renee at the home base, or is he on the road to Applebee's?
No, he's in town right now, currently.
Applebee's sounds
Oh,
good.
so he's eating good in the neighborhood.
in the neighborhood. In his neighborhood, Applebee's.
I think I overhear him playing Helldivers possibly. in the other room.
Man, we should
He's yelling about
we
something.
should get on there with him. Is this going to be one of those we abandon the show and go to Helldivers?
Yeah.
I've been getting itched to play some Warzone again. I don't know what it is.
Hey man, every time I look for Jeremy every Saturday night, he's not on, even though I know he's hidden. I'm like, oh, I tried.
I tried to find
and
it.
then I just log off or can go to bed. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Murmy is here. It's just me. Twitch despises me. Like and subscribe. Ring the bell.
Super chat us.
Super chat. That's like the paid tier.
Brand knows what I'm talking
Super
about.
chat.
Mm-hmm.
Is that for naughty accounts?
No, super chat just like he's giving money so he can make a comment.
You can't just type in the chat.
It's like depending how much money you give, it just stays up there at top. So
Yeah.
typically it makes more sense for you have thousands of people in your chat, and you can be kind of like singled out.
So it's a pinned comment. You pay for a pinned comment.
Basically.
Okay.
Or the more amount of money you have on there, the longer the pin is. So
I bet there's some hateful shit that rises to the top. Why is that where my
I mean,
mind
no,
goes?
That's why filters were invented.
Okay, that helps.
and they usually have mods that kind of hide behind there that kind of like block people for that. So
Right.
I mean,
You're not wanted here with that nonsense, no matter how much you pay.
all right, I just shared a tweet to Richard, and then
I was looking for Renee's to retweet it to help us out. Oh God, what's happening? It's a super commenter?
no, that's a voice actor for one of the fighting games out there.
Whew.
They also do translations for all the Trails games. I think they have worked on all of them, translating them.
What studio is that? Because like 8-4 Play gets all the not the credit, but they're like always the go-to that you hear about localization wise.
I don't know. This particular person's freelance, so freelance, man. Freelance is worth
Freelance. Young lady of your age.
job. You don't need a job. Freelance. Freelance is where it's at.
Ham. Nice Christmas ham. Oh God, 300 episodes of doing the same bit over and over and over. Brent's like, I was listening to this before they demoted me to participant, co-host. Oh shit, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh man, this will be a special episode, 300.
I was waiting for our viewers to decline.
No, it's our same 4. It's the same room Brent was in. a couple weeks ago. Yep. We just need running Randy Rebs, and then we'll have the meeting of the minds.
Do we just pay Brant to play Sonic 2006?
I already gifted him a copy. Did you send him one too?
Yeah, I need him to describe in detail about the
human
on hedgehog action.
Human kissing.
Ooh. Yeah.
Is he kissing any humans in the new cartoon movie? I'm trying to see where this is going.
I don't think so. I haven't seen any of the movies, so.
But I've seen the first one. The first one's incredible. Then I was so excited when that second one came to whatever streaming platform that is. Peacock, maybe? Maybe that was Paramount. And I told the kids, I was like, the new Sonic movie's out. Dad, we already watched it. Sure enough.
It is Paramount, yeah.
Sure enough, I go in the app and I look at it's like resume watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2. They're in the credits. They're in the credits at the end. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, they're the age, man.
You guys are supposed to wait for me.
Yeah. Too slow, man.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. You know that.
It was right there. I had to take it.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 300 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. I got nothing else. I don't think nothing stood out. Paramount streaming service acquisition? No, we didn't go too deep into that. Come for the preamble, stay for the rest of the show. The madness continues. Tonight's news. Oh, this is episode 300. Congratulations, guys. Let's give ourselves a small round of applause here. I should have some numbers, right? Didn't I do this for one of the milestone shows we hit? Like, hey, here's a check-in of however many this is. I think last time I looked, it was like 35,000. Oh, I have to download it on here. Let me look real quick. These numbers are important to no one unless you're playing like Destiny and you want to see the number go up. Then it counts for something.
And they just play our podcast for people's enemies and torture them as they hear us talk.
Damn. That's what happens.
In the gulag.
Are we a podcast? Are we that kind of podcast? Like, you know, people play like a game and they just listen to a podcast in the background. Are we one of those while they play Destiny?
I don't know. I just remember that American Dad episode where they torture Stan with NPR. And the guy just keeps pausing. He's like, does he not know what he's going to say next?
What's because of like the cadence, the cadence of the NPR.
Yeah. The weird pauses. Like, why does he keep pausing?
I thought I had I thought insights were in the app. Oh, you have to do it from desktop now.
Oh no.
Oh well, whatever. I just took that long. Y'all filled the time while I was searching in vain for that. Welcome to the 300th episode. Buish is chanting 300 in the chat. I guess we will just
Buish 300 episode or 300.
I was gonna say we'll just be Justin TV and stream 300 the movie in the background.
Don't worry, Gerard Butler will be joining us later.
He's our surprise guest. Brent, you said there was one coming.
Not the weird character.
He'd be way more entertaining.
Oh gosh.
It looks like Jack Skeleton the whole time, like a human life. Like that's what Jack Skeleton was when he was alive.
It was erotically frightening too. Like there was a whole lot going on with the chains and the piercings, and I think he had it out. I think he had it for Gerard Butler too. Like I think he was after everybody.
Yeah, he did not skip his grunge phase with all those
did not.
with the chains.
Xerxes.
Yeah, he was all there. Man.
Xerxes, come on down. Welcome to episode 300. We know this number's not. We know this number's not like a super prideful point for you, but we thought it'd be appropriate if we brought you on today.
He's throwing on his Alice in Chains shirt. Yeah.
That'd be good. Xerxes in an Alice in Chains shirt. What better way to celebrate 300?
Yeah.
Buish also says need to stream.
Down in a hole. Oh my gosh.
That's it.
Yeah.
Full circle. We made it. That's it, folks. We'll try harder for 301. We're done after 5 minutes. Buish says need to stream Wii Bowling till you get a 300. Has anyone ever bowled a 300 in Wii Bowling?
Oh God, we're gonna be doing that for the next 10 years.
We make that our first hot tub stream. Wii Bowling in the hot tub.
As we die, as when the controller falls.
But you don't have to do the whole. Remember that was the
Not
thing.
Bowling with a toaster.
Not bowling with a toaster. You don't get in a hot tub with a toaster? How else does it warm up?
How sexy is the toaster?
Yeah.
Is it the Xbox toaster?
It's Xerxes in the hot tub with us, trying to roll a 300 on the Wii bowling.
He gets in there, he can conduct electricity.
What other famous 300s are there?
Even more so.
Bowling and perfect scores at 300. Xerxes is a perfect 300. Give us a score of 300. No, that's... I mean, we published, what, March 2017? That's when we first started, or 18? Long ways. Here's the 300 more. Exactly. And then we stop at 600.
Look at us. We made it.
Who would have thought?
Here we are.
Who would have thought?
We just all meet up and just do a Hot Ones episode, right?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We talked about trying to get some things together for episode 300 and get some of our previous co-hosts on the show, and scheduling just didn't line up. So they have open invites to come back and join us for anything. We can do a reminiscing episode. It doesn't have to be a big number, so don't worry about that. If you want to hear more from Michael, he has his own show, and friend of the show, Russell, hopefully we'll get him on before too long. So they both wanted to. The scheduling just didn't work out for us, but
yeah. I mean, Russell's been busy playing CCs for 200 episodes, so.
I think he was done right after 100, wasn't he? He put 100 in.
Yeah,
2 years worth. It was a lot. It was a lot back in those days. Driving to my house, we didn't have the convenience of walking to our respective studio/desks to record and just hang up and go to bed or whatever. Or play Helldivers after that or something. It was usually me and Cesar going to Waffle House at 3 in the morning.
Well, and that
One
one
time
time
to
we
Huddle
went to
House.
Huddle House.
Oh boy, that one time.
Never,
I haven't
I've
either.
never been back ever again. That burned me.
I'll
That one
see
experience
the
was
Huddle House, any Huddle House, and think, oh, she might be in there, waiting for me and Cesar to come back.
I know she's in there. She's still waiting there to talk about something. I'm like, oh god.
Yep. Oh boy. All right. News. Brant's typing in an episode title already. News for this week. The ESA doesn't like this presentation talk. All right.
Oh, whoops. Typo.
ID in the Xbox Digital Showcase. ID at Xbox Digital Showcase. I read that wrong. Question mark. What is this? There was a show. I saw no news coming out of that, so I'll be finding out in real time with you guys. Along with their stupid E3 thing where they redacted their upcoming announcement, and everybody knows it's Call of Duty. It's like a straight up Call of Duty logo in there and everything. It's like, what is this?
I mean, when you use redacted, you automatically know it's probably
Military thing.
I know, military base.
More Switch 2 rumors. I think this has a little bit more weight than some of the... it also seems to cement some of the other things that we've seen before. And we have your May Game Pass games. I'm one of your hosts for the 300th time, Richard Bergman. Joined tonight by Newsmaster for the 200 and...
I'm about to say probably 200 and something.
260 or 270th time, Brent McKee.
So,
Brent, you lasted long enough. The dollars are rolling in, man. The investment paid off.
right out of the... Yeah, right out of the...
Speaking
You
of which,
did
guys,
the
dues,
SoundCloud investment.
Just go ahead and drive down to your job tomorrow and quit.
we've made it.
Time.
Yep.
300. That's all we had to get
Yep.
to.
Say your goodbyes.
Speaking of
please.
which, dues are... we have to pay for our SoundCloud
Dude.
hosting. Dues are up. We've yet to make a penny. We've spent hundreds at this point.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's for the love of the game. That other voice you heard, longtime co-host, co-conspirator, here from day one, and even some of the practice. Brant was here for day one because we sent some of the practice recordings to Brant. Like, hey, how does this sound? And he would listen. He downloaded. What, I sent you an MP3 or something? You would download it and check it out. I shared a Google Drive.
I think it was it was a Google Drive. They were downloaded on the first like 2 or 3 lost episodes, I guess you'd call them.
We could go back and publish. I have those. We could go back and publish those.
The negative
The
levels.
minus
yeah.
world.
The back rooms.
Oh boy, we were still figuring things out. I don't think we have things totally figured out still, but we were really figuring things out then. What is this show? What is this going to consist of? Never finished the introduction. That is Cesar Concepcion II. Welcome, Cesar. Once again, for the 300th, feels like 300,000th time for the 300th time, plus the lost levels, like you mentioned. Do you feel like you've bowled a perfect 300 these years?
I don't even think.
Do you feel like you have been at Alice in Chains concert with Xerxes?
I'm closer to that probably than bowling 300.
All right, real question: were any of the 300 games good? I remember a PSP one. I think there's a PS2 one.
I don't think I've ever played or owned
300
any
games any good.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's basically Dynasty Warriors, right? If they didn't make a Dynasty Warriors licensed game with some of the movie clips and stuff, I think they totally missed out.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
Do you get to play as Xerxes? Is there a Xerxes simulator?
I mean, he's the only confirmed historical figure in there, right?
Leonidas and the guy that got his, the guy with the eye patch too, right? The lieutenant, the one that had, I think he led the last charge, right? Lieutenant eye patch. That's the guy I remember. That's who you play as in the game. That's one of those deals where the studio signs on and the movie studio gives them nothing to go off of. And they're like, okay, we've seen some concept art. I guess this guy's Lieutenant Eye Patch. Enter your name on the character create screen. I guess I'm just Lieutenant Eye Patch. I think one of them is called Rise to Glory. I think that just came to me. That might be the PSP one.
I'm only seeing
a PSP title.
The one for PSP is March to Glory.
March to Glory. I was close.
See if I can look at some videos here.
Would you rather attempt to bowl a 300 in Wii Bowling or go up against Xerxes in not the video game? Did he fight or he just sat on that throne the whole time? I feel like he stabbed somebody.
I mean, he just kept grabbing people's backs and talking to them.
It's frightening.
Yeah, this does look very Dynasty Warriors.
Is it very hack and slashish?
It's very hack and slash.
And it's only PSP?
That's what it's looking like.
I thought that would have come to PS2 in that era.
We're just over here like I must have it.
This person's playing it on PPSSPP at 1080p. That's a lot of P's, man.
On the PlayStation Portal? The new PSP? Mm-hmm. Speaking of which,
the real PSP.
y'all know on the show that I loaned mine out to a friend of the show, Russell.
On his trip around the United States.
For that one. And so I go to fire mine. I got the Portal back from him like earlier in the week. I go to fire it up. I'm going to connect to something and download. It's tied to his PS5. I never re-registered. I was like, damn it. What do you mean can't find PS5? I know it's down there. And I was like, shit. He probably turned that thing off and unplugged it. And it's not going to connect. And I've got to go down there and reconnect it to mine. So I haven't done that yet. I saw those Darksiders games on sale on that PSN sale. I already had 1, 2, and 3 for some reason.
Yeah, I think they've given those out numerous times on like some PlayStation Plus.
But I didn't have Genesis, the hack and slash. Like, people love that one.
Oh yeah.
Also realized I didn't have physical copies of the first 2 Darksiders games on the PlayStation Quattro.
Yeah, I think Branson one that bought them on the Wii U, right?
Brain, you have Darksiders for Wii U? Do I have Darksiders for the Wii U?
No.
I bet that was a pretty decent version, right? Probably parity with 360 and PS3. Maybe a frame rate boost.
Yeah. Fairly certain that Brent owns every Wii U game.
I think they came to... didn't those come to Switch also?
Well, yeah. That's the one that had the weird background on one of them. That didn't have the red background.
I have Darksiders on Wii U. Brant owns every Wii U game. Brant, why are you holding out on us? Why do I have Darksiders? Oh.
Hey, man. My Brant lore is top notch, man. It's never the truth.
Thinking Inside the Box is here. Welcome to episode 300. Thank you for joining us in our celebratory.
Thank you.
Episode 300, March to Glory.
Yes. What's your favorite character from 300, or have you ever bowled a perfect 300 in Wii Bowling? What would it take to do that? It's probably the old people in the nursing homes when the Wii was super popular that were just like racing up the scoreboards, fighting over the Wii.
Fighting over the Wii and breaking their heads.
I can do it. Give me the Wiimote.
TVs.
It's not officially called the Wiimote. Let's get into this news. The madness continues. The ESA doesn't like this preservation talk. I read the news wrong in the preamble. Preservation talk. And I even pulled up that article.
Next slide, please.
Yeah, what even does this mean anymore? I'm probably not going to like whatever this contents are. This is from Jordan Midler at VideoGamesChronicle.com. Game publishers won't support, quote, support libraries for preserving online games. Okay. ESA lawyer claims there's currently no legal way to keep online games active after official support has ended. As reported by a game developer last week, ESA lawyer Steve England was asked about a theoretical scenario in which public libraries were permitted to preserve online video games after official support had concluded. In response, England said there was currently no combination of limitations ESA members would support to provide remote access. The ESA's members include virtually every major game publisher, including Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, EA, and Take-Two. Currently, video game developers and publishers have no legal obligation to maintain access to online services beyond their official support. As fans of The Crew just found out over the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said England, I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's how it's spelled. It tripped me up.
He's a lawyer.
England.
Yeah, I was like, what?
It's also not currently legal for fans to resurrect online games that have been abandoned either, although this hasn't stopped several fan efforts for older titles. What comes to mind is the Big Insignia project, right? Where that group is basically recreating Xbox Live from scratch.
Yeah.
Or like the DNS settings you can put in your PS3 and play Warhawk. And what's another one that I was reading has a huge community, but I think those are official servers. Battlefield 3 and 4 on PS3 still have a shit ton of people that play those. This has led to dozens of games to become completely unplayable, a number that only grows due to the prevalence of titles requiring an online connection and in some cases servers. I always think about like all the Warzone we put in and call it or PUBG and stuff like that. Like it would be fun to go revisit those OG. I think that's why when World of Warcraft comes out with like World of Warcraft Vanilla or Fortnite brings back that original island and stuff, it's such a big shift for those. And maybe that's part of the reason that they have no interest in this sort of preservation is that they can always break it out as a retro kick. But we're talking preservation's wildly different than, 2 million people jumping on Fortnite in one night. They're not going to spin up this server and have this private thing. Just, I don't know. England said that a physical location housing these games and allowing easy access isn't a solution in his opinion. He called this kind of access to the titles insufficient progress. But you're also probably not able to buy skins on one of these, right? Like if you're playing an older version of Halo or Warzone, you're not dipping into their current season or way to purchase content. Cesar's video just went crazy. Hold on.
Oh, part of my plan.
You did it again, sir. You did it again.
Yep. Using my evil powers for evil, finally.
Mike A's, an advanced access content system, the post-DVD era piracy protection standard. Attorney. Oh my god. That's what I specialize in. I'm an attorney for advanced access content system. I make sure nobody... You're that guy. Took England's side looking for, quote, more substance in any adjustments to the rules. A's said that he would have concerns about verification when it comes to establishing physical locations that would preserve online titles, saying that it's not clear if physical premises will actually be effective. Public libraries have time and time again proven to be a haven for physical media and the safeguarding of data. You have people who use those computers for tax returns and finding services that they can get access to. In response to this, Video Game History Foundation Director Phil Salvador said that public libraries are not best suited to the preservation efforts due to the lack of manpower and the scale of the issue. That is a valid point. Last year, the Video Game History Foundation, in partnership with the Software Preservation Network, claimed that 87% of classic video games released in the United States were critically endangered. Technology lawyer Kendra Albert condemned the ESA's attitude, especially in regards to concerns that the games would be accessed for non-academic purposes against the wishes of right holders. Oh boy, we all know what that means. Albert said it doesn't feel fair to discount the preservation efforts of academic institutions when it comes to preservation purely because players would be able to access the games for non-research purposes. I think a lot of this leans into, who did I hear an interview with? It wasn't that podcast I like so much, the My Perfect Console, but someone was talking to Frank Cifaldi at Video Game History Foundation, and they want to open a digital library of this kind. They want to, akin to what was the like RDP gaming share thing that was making the rounds like right before COVID and right during. Like, I can fire something up over here, Brant, and you connect to it, and you don't have to have the hardware. You just have to have internet connection. But they want to do something like that, and I know it's a huge rights mess, and they're best equipped to figure out how to pull that off, because you have to host all that stuff. Just like when we use the PlayStation Plus premium thing, and you're playing a PS3 game, you're connected to a PS3 and streaming that to yourself. So you do have to have that hardware at some point. I know, but their end goal is to be able to connect to things like that and keep these games alive, so that you don't have to buy the newest Nintendo device and buy Super Mario Brothers again. But again, you got to work with Nintendo to make sure that you have Super Mario Brothers for that device, because people are going to want to play that game if you offer this type of service. So I'm sure they're deep in the logistics of all that stuff. Thinking outside the box says, "Fuck those greedy corpos choosing to kill games with no options for the consumer." That's what drives us all to retro gaming, right?
Yeah.
Just pop it in and play it.
We're in such a weird and murky time. I know we've talked about The Crew a couple times and brought it up now about how, even people that paid for that game now have no access to it. And it's interesting. I saw a comment that brings up an interesting point. If purchasing is no longer ownership, then piracy should not be considered stealing. Because, I mean, shoot, we're in extremely murky waters. And yeah, it's like if I spent my money and I bought this and now you come, no, it's still ours. That's ours. You just purchased the license. Then
these licenses are just arbitrary rules anyways.
Yep.
As Cesar's pointed out, they can pull that rug out from underneath you whenever they want to, and have done so before.
Yeah, I just put on my little hat and listen to the Pirates of the Caribbean music, and hey, I didn't steal this. I commandeered it, but
those were just guidelines. Apparently, don't download from Internet Archive. You'll get
you're still getting cease and desist.
I haven't downloaded anything else. No more ISOs or anything coming through there. Or BIOSes. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I wish they would tell me exactly what it was. Pitch Perfect again, like Cesar likes to point out.
Oh yeah, the trilogy. They're like, he's downloading a trilogy again, get his ass.
There he is, the world's number one consumer of pirated Pitch Perfect content.
He loves him some Anna Kendrick. He's over there downloading her nonstop.
Yeah, thinking outside the box as VPN, of course. It's absolutely the answer, and I need to use it just for this, but I wouldn't think the Internet Archive would have hosed me twice now. It didn't do anything. It was open source stuff. It was an Internet Archive. All right. That's going to be an ongoing thing. Like we talk about this with movie studios and sports networks, and everybody's mired in this right now with streaming and licensing, and it's just a mess. But I think games are still kind of on the worst part of it, because no matter where, it may be inconvenient for the NBA to move from TNT to Max, right? But you still have something that plays that content. You don't have to get a new box. You don't have to make sure your CD-ROM drive works. Like there's an extra barrier. You have clean controllers. You have a TV that takes the right input display for the basketball game. We have all these things, right? We have multiple ways to consume this. So games are always going to be in a stickier spot for that until they do come up with, I think, something like that Video Game History Foundation is the right way. And for people who still have the old hardware and stuff, like what Cesar has with the Retro Tink, I think that's going to go places. Cesar has me seriously considering that Retro Tink.
Just try it out and see how you like it.
I finally hooked up that Dreamcast component cable that I ordered, and it looks like absolute dog shit. And I'm like, I'm tired of playing this game. I could just hook up whatever best cable. I have a VGA box for the Dreamcast, and I could output that into crispy right into my OLED, and
then
it would be.
You just go in there, you and you just choose the option to do a Sony Wega CRT filter, and you're like, this is like looking at a Sony Wega. So,
what's it hooked up to in there? It's a Sanyo component set, which everything I've thrown at it so far looks pretty solid, so I'm not quite sure if it's the cable. I haven't tried that component input, so I have something else to roll out, but...
yeah, let me know when you're ready. I'll bring it over there. You can try it out, see if you like it before you commit.
I've been talking about that thing for weeks, and I finally plugged that in, and even that immediate boot up of the Dreamcast, you know, that white screen with the... like the cave sound and then the swirl. I was seeing all kind of artifacting, and lines were flying all over the place. I was like, man, this looks like shit. Then I found out my controller didn't work because Sonic Adventure was trying to tell me I needed a memory card, and I'm like, no, this was a demo kiosk game. You could just hit start and just play the game. I don't need to save. And it wasn't taking any of my inputs on the controller, so something's up with that controller. Anyways, Xbox Wire. Someone tell me about this ID at Xbox Digital Showcase, of which I know nothing about.
I too know nothing about it. I was on the treadmill when it was being played.
And I'm scrolling
surprised
through the article, and I don't recognize any of this. Commandos. I know the Commandos franchise. We just gonna run down these titles essentially?
Yeah, let's go down. So we have I don't know what order these were presented in. I didn't watch the show.
I'm not familiar with any of these.
33 Immortals, which is coming to Game Pass, is from the developer Thunder Lotus. I'm familiar with Thunder Lotus. They I forgot what they made. They made like a game like Sundry something. Vaguely familiar with it.
Thunder Lotus.
Sundered. Yeah, Sundered was a good game they made. I played that before on PlayStation many years back.
I was about to say it's a PS3 or PS4 game, right? Or Vita?
Yes.
Maybe Vita port?
Possibly. 33 Immortals is a co-op action roguelike, which is everything else. The cool thing on there is it's for 33 players, so this is our new mag.
Finally,
plays a damn soul
and
Rebel against it's our new mag. It's the highest we're gonna get, man. God's Final Judgment, diving straight into epic 33-player co-op battles with instant pickup and raid matchmaking. Cooperate with your allies to survive against hordes, monsters, and massive challenging bosses. Expand your arsenal and equip powerful new relics to permanently upgrade your soul. Face the wrath of God in a fight for your
God,
life.
You had me until that last sentence. That's hard. I was like, man, this sounds like a fun game.
Some people like to take the fight to God, man. You never know.
God.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, that's
33
cool.
people.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Roguelike, yeah, even with a roguelike, that sounds like something interesting and different than most people have not done with a roguelike. So that seems interesting.
In our heyday, when we were having to split up Halo groups and stuff because we had more than 4 people in getting on for Halo game nights, a 33-person thing would have been helpful.
That way I can go over and visit the spot where Richard or Brent has perished and look at it and like, oh, God bless his roguelike. There's their dead bodies. Next up is All You Need Is Help. Coming to Game Passes from our favorite Q Games. Coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC.
Oh, Dylan Cuthbert's studio.
Yep. While bumping around and supporting each other, you turn your friendships into friendships. These an innovative cooperative multiplayer game introduces a fresh gaming experience. Dive into a quirky multiplayer co-op puzzle where adorable fluffy cube-shaped creatures collaborate to reach their goals. And I guess these creatures are each oddly shaped, just so out. I mean, I guess it's just Tetris with
I was about to say they look like Tetraminos, but they have
yeah.
faces, and this looks like fun.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good.
Q Games makes good stuff.
The Aster Blade of the Menelath from C2 Game Studios. Publishers versus Evil and Tiny Build, which have been famous for their Hello Neighbor series.
That's who that is.
That's still about. That's the publisher, not the developer. So, rip through hordes of enemies with a furry and style in this fast-paced action RPG. Plays Aster, a young warrior determined to unveil the secrets behind his creator's unforeseen demise. A la, I guess, Frankensteinish thing. Maybe, I don't know. Learn new attacks, abilities, combos, and magical powers, and collect legendary weapons on you as you crush your hordes of enemies. Sure. I mean, I won't finish this out.
Is that also a Game Pass?
Okay. Yeah, no. There's no Game Pass around it. So I think this is the first show that I've noticed that they came back and said not everything was Game Pass.
Interesting.
Some of it was exclusive to PC.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first one they announced that they said none of these. I think Xbox or Microsoft's gotten away with doing exclusive games for Xbox ID. So I don't think any of these are exclusive.
So they throw money for funding not to support their subscription service.
To lock it behind, yeah. I guess they're going away from doing that. So,
okay.
my understanding.
All right.
So.
Maybe it doesn't get made without that, so I'm not going to turn my nose up at it. But it seems like that was their strategy for so long. But there's been a whole lot of changes.
I think they still fund it with ID. I just don't think they do the contracts now where like it has to be on this console for X amount of time before it can release elsewhere. I think they're just doing away with that stuff because I think they're at this point where everybody's just trying to make money. So and they're trying to do it for the studio. So I guess it makes sense. Yeah. So.
All of them look like it just says Xbox One, Series, and PC.
Those top two said Game Pass.
But yeah, I'm not seeing one pass. So
no,
I think they put in quotations coming to
right
Game
by
Pass
the title.
Microsoft. Yeah. So you got Centennium, which is comes with series consoles and PC. Centennium is an unreliable narrative-driven.
Unreliable narrative-driven adventure game. What the fuck does that mean? What genre is that?
At first, it appears to be a point-and-click adventure. You're a prisoner in a cell. You have 100 days to escape. Interesting. But is that really the goal? Centennium plays with your mind and tricks you into thinking you're playing a different game, but through the surprise interaction, surrealist storytelling, and striking large-scale animated pixel art, this unexpected experience takes players on a mind-bending emotional fraud journey through the looking glass to show them a different side to their familiar reality.
As long as we're not fighting God at the end, right? The Wrath of God. It's like the Wrath of Khan.
Let's go with that.
Would you rather face the Wrath of Khan or the Wrath of God?
What was his name in there, Khan? What was Khan? Was it Ricardo? Who played him?
Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah. All right, next up, this one is coming to Game Pass. Commandos Origins. If you want to know the origins of Commandos, then here you are.
Commandos, a reboot of the iconic franchise. So,
this is a reboot.
I've told y'all before that Gateway computer we bought many, many years ago that had the built-in DVD drive. We got like an IDOS collection, and it had Tomb Raider, Commandos. There was one other series it came with, but we played a shit ton of Tomb Raider and Commandos just because that was the games that came with it.
Hey man, if they come in the game, you play the shit out of it, right?
Commandos is fun. It's like there was a fog of war, and you had to play stealthy because it's like if somebody found you out, I feel like the Commandos got murdered nonstop. They made one for the original Xbox as well. Thinking Inside the Box might have covered that on his channel. He does a whole lot of original Xbox stuff, so go check him out.
It says here, from the blazing deserts of Africa to the frozen Scandinavian forts.
My two favorite places.
Yeah. Hot, cold. So what you experience when you get old with age, like me. Meet the 6 members of your squad, and use those unique skills to overcome these most demanding of missions. You got Dungeons of Hinterberg, also coming to Game Pass. This one's coming to Xbox One and the series consoles and PC. Welcome to Hinterberg, a new tourist hotspot in the idyllic Austrian Alps. As Luisa, you snowboard down glaciers, zip line through forests, climb a mighty mountain, or have coffee by the lake while you're looking for your next dungeon.
And go against the Wrath of God.
Yes, every game ends with God fights.
And friends. God fights and friends.
Yeah, you got to bring your friends to the God fight.
Why wouldn't you? If I'm fighting God, I'm rounding up a posse.
Way you get that one friend like, whoa, I didn't sign up for this. I ain't fighting.
Hey man, God. You said we're gonna pick up some crystals.
Whoa. I never would have came over.
RPG ever.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't find out it was God until the very end. It just randomly came in there. It's like, oh, the guy I've been fighting. Yeah. It was this guy.
You don't realize, but then you fight God and beat him with the power of friendship
and love. Conquers all.
It sounds like a Captain Planet episode. All right, Fairy of the Sundered Tribes. An open world co-op survival crafting RPG that blends monster hunting and colony sim mechanics with fun aerial traversal exploration. This one's coming to PC. I know some people were bitching on Twitter about hey, why would you have an Xbox ID and not put it on consoles? And then there was an argument back and forth. It was like, well, it's also PC, which is technically Xbox based. So.
Hey, if you haven't paid attention, Xbox is a service now, like very much like the rest of Microsoft. That's where they're going.
I just usually just sit there and like, all right, here we go. I'm waiting for everybody's hot takes because this is gonna be hilarious to me.
Hey, an Xbox console may not mean that you get the Xbox content, but having a PlayStation might.
Hey man, they came out and said like, hey, those Xbox games are on PlayStation or Switch are also part of their delivery system. So
yep, and going where the consumers are.
Yep. what we got next? This is a gamer montage, Gamera montage, all coming to Game Pass.
Gamera Games. Is this a studio, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's a publisher, I guess. Mostly
Yeah.
PC based. I think they announced, what was it? Depersonalization, Firework, Clipperth, Volcanic Princess are all coming in the next few months. I'm not familiar with the studio. I'm not familiar with any of these games. On top of that, the Pixel Puzzle Adventure the Rewinder is available on Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC with Game Pass as of that announcement.
Is this taking a VHS tape out and putting it in a dedicated device so you can return it to Blockbuster?
Probably would play.
You would play the Rewinder?
I would put in and then you got to put Titanic in, and then you got to put in a short movie. What would be a good short movie to rewind?
Like an episode of a show. Remember, you'd get a show episode that'd be real brief. Or I've got a tape from when they were announcing the 64, and they sent out like the sizzle reel. It's only like 5 minutes on the whole tape.
That's a good one.
What about a narrative-driven adventure based off of that concept that we're workshopping, where you like take these tapes out? Maybe your job is to digitize them, but you're seeing these different memories and stuff, and that takes you through the narrative adventure. I might be onto something.
I don't know, man.
Can I just give that out for free to the internet?
Or you can just make a studio and start slowly building that game.
Oh, yeah.
In
Flex
Unity.
my game development muscle. Thinking Inside the Box says, be kind, rewind. We were all thinking it.
Yeah. So after that, we kind of went over Rewinder, but I think Rewinder is using a pixel art to evoke ancient Chinese painting styles. This 2D puzzle adventure game sees you take on the role of Yun, a rewinder who has the ability to enter people's memories and influence their actions. Traveling to a village, you'll be able to unravel the mysteries of what occurred there and uncover a story inspired by Chinese mythology. So, then you have Firework. Firework is this is PC with Game Pass. PC Game Pass. Firework is a horror puzzle game. An accidental fire and funeral forces the police to reinvestigate a horrifying closed case. You play as a rookie police officer who joins the case by chance and discovers that the crime is more bewildering than they could have expected. Holy shit, this is
What are they doing? Yeah. What are they? They're just fleshing out their library, right, with these titles?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, it's spread out pretty evenly because there's a lot, like right here, we're straight on PC here. So, I guess they're trying to grow that PC Game Pass as well. That's another thing they wanted to increase subscriptions, because I think subscriptions is down for everybody right now. So
it's not just them taking the hit.
I think it's down for everybody. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see, depersonalization, PC with Game Pass. This one is a branching RPG with multiple endings, which allows you to shape the world of the game around you. Players can create a variety of characters, each with their own personalities, offering exploration, investigation, and deductive reasoning as means to reach the end of the story you help create. Plurth, also PC with Game Pass. The 2D sandbox RPG lets you take on the threats of a dangerous alien planet whether alone or with friends. Oh, there you go.
Whether alone.
Yeah, we did it.
With friends. Good job.
Yeah,
so sorry.
With friends. Yeah. It's written in there, so all I had to do.
Thanks for adding that.
I haven't seen Cozy so far though.
Yeah.
Sounds like Returnal, which just celebrated a third anniversary.
Yeah, I can't believe that shit came out 30 years ago.
Did we ever try the co-op version of that? How many people?
No.
How many people can play that? Is it just 2?
I think it's just 2.
Brant, you got heavy into Returnal. That'd be fun to play online.
Yeah, for a while. It's damn good actually.
Be a fun one.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Volcano Princess.
Okay. Volcano Princess, it's in this fantasy parenting simulator, which we all needed. You'll be tasked with raising a daughter, not only affecting her future, but the future of an entire kingdom with multiple choices and you'll be able to help your daughter learn, train, and befriend others, ultimately affecting how the story plays out as a result of your decisions. This is coming to series consoles and PC. You have Hangry, which is we all know about Hungry and Angry. Explore the galaxy, discover new life, eat it. Play as Hangry, a beastly mercenary with insatiable hunger, hunting down fearsome monsters in a snack and slash RPG. Let's see what they did there.
Snack and slash.
Traverse through barbecued woodlands, candy-coated caverns to find ingredients for Gotra, the chief chef of an alien underworld diner. And that is not coming to Game Pass, but that's going to be OG Xbox, believe it or not, and PC.
Wow.
And we have Humanity's finally coming to Xbox.
I've heard good things about
Xbox
Humanity.
One. Yeah. It's the same guy that's the same studio, that's been doing Rez and Tetris recently.
Tetris Connected or Reconnected. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Enhance.
Xbox One series consoles and PC, and this is also coming to Game Pass. A unique blend of puzzle solving and action platform. Humanity puts the fate of all mankind in your hands or paws. Do we mention you're a dog? Become a Shiba Inu and help reconstruct human mankind in an acclaimed action puzzle game. Drop commands to guide a mindless human hordes of lemmings to the goal through 90 increasingly challenging, hard, handcrafted story mode stages. I guess if somebody's going to do something with the lemmings type IP, then let it be anybody but Sony. Then choose from thousands of users-made puzzles expanding on the breadth of mechanics, or design your own and share it with the community.
Who has the Lemmings license?
Sony.
They're sitting on it.
I mean, they own it. They bought it with Synopsys, with that when the ones that owned Wipeout.
And then they were Studio Liverpool at a certain point, right?
Yeah,
we got a PSP one. Is the last Lemmings game the PSP one?
The last one is the PSP. Yeah. I think they came out with a PS3 one. I think there was a PS3 downloadable one when they were doing downloadable games. I think.
Damn, I will play some Lemmings.
Yeah. Just like Fat Princess, they just sit on the IP.
Lemmings should have been a good mobile, right? Isn't that great for touch interface? Like moving your finger around the screen and tapping on the Lemming type you want, and then tapping the Lemming you want to take that role.
It would make sense, yeah.
That seems great for mobile. Or the trackpad on the PS5 controller. Lemmings is good. If those in the chat have never played Lemmings, look up some playthroughs. It was like 3D Lemmings, and then more Lemmings levels or something on PS1 that you could play with the mouse, the PS1 mouse. But you had to get like these. The Lemmings would drop out of a door, and they would go to the right, and they would be unstoppable, and you would try to get them in an exit door. So the first level is like. You assign one of the Lemmings to dig a hole, and they dig a hole through the level, and it drops down to the door, and you only have to rescue 10, and they all go flying in there. And it gets increasingly harder and harder, and you have to put up Lemmings to stop the flow of the Lemmings. They never stop until the amount from that level is spilled out of there. And you'll have like parachutes. You have to click at certain times, so they'll umbrella? And they fly down with the umbrella. It's very unique gameplay, and there was a bunch of them around, what was that, late 90s, early 2000s, and then Accessor said there's just nothing since, and it's a brilliant game design type, and definitely deserves to not be sitting idle. At least a mobile game, I think, like I said, I think it's perfectly suited for mobile.
Don't worry, Richard, you'll get your 85 different versions of Medieval, and no more Lemmings.
It doesn't seem like it. Or Ape Escape.
I mean, it's fucking Lemmings is on PSP. Just put on the emulator they got on there. At some point, I'm sure they'll shut it out on there.
On the classics, it'll probably be on that PlayStation Premium Classics.
Yeah. We'll bitch about it now, and it'll be like next month's Classics. Lemmings.
Is Lemmings the next one we're bringing back? Is that what we're gonna use our flex on?
Sure. Yeah. You want to bring back Lemmings? I'll play the fuck out of something.
All right, I'll support Lemmings. Put our money where our mouths are.
All right, and then we just run through. Let's speed through this a little bit more quickly. We went through a montage. And hopefully they play some cool music. You always do it through a montage. They went through the games that were already announced, like currently been announced: 33 Immortals, Cat Quest 3, which I remember reading over there, Death Must Die, Flintlock, Siege of Dawn, Kill Knight, Less Schools, Never Alone 2, Shadows of Doubt, Wizard of Legends. And then the games that are already available on Xbox, which is Broken Roads, Potato, Dyson, Sphere Program, My Time at Sandrock, Power World Arena update coming this fall. Raven's Watch, Risk of Rain 2, and Vampire Survivors Operation Guns DLC, which I think is a Contra thing. They announced not too long ago. Then they go into Richard's favorite game, which is Jackbox, which is now having a Naughty Pack.
What is the Naughty Pack?
It's the first M-rated 17 plus.
Yeah. I'm legit interested in this.
So
that zany
just
comedy.
Cards of Humanity. It's probably gonna be Cards of Humanity with Jack in a Box.
Oh, but you have to draw. So they're actually trying to get you to draw the naughty things that people were just doing in the normal Jack in the Box.
Yeah. Don't play this one at your local work.
Jackbox. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the You Don't Know Jack series, the first one.
I was thinking about Jack in a Box. I was like, we're going to the West Coast to eat some Jack
in the Box. On Jackbox Naughty Pack. World premiere.
Then you have Key Locker, which is turn-based cyberpunk action. It's a bizarre, colorful, turn-based rhythm JRPG. Play as a singer and songwriter Bobo.
Oh.
Not Bobo, but just Bobo. And take down a despotic regime that has outlawed all sound. There we go. It's like Footloose. but just with music. Feel your moves with the electric power of music by using real-time execution of moves and rhythm game
I'm so
style.
disappointed now that it's not Footloose.
I wish this character was voiced by Kevin Bacon or he was in there as a villain or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. This art style is really cool looking.
So this is from Munana Games from Serenity Forge. It's coming to series consoles and PC. And then when you look at this image down below, it looks like a fucking .NOD game, but it is. It looks like a.
Hey, check this one
Oh,
out.
what's it? So this one's called Lost Records Bloom and Rage. It's a narrative adventure game set in the fictional town of Velvet Cove in the summer of '95. I think this has been announced before, right? It seems vaguely
Yeah,
familiar.
and you're right.
Yeah,
you're right about that screenshot.
Yeah, 4 high school friends, Swan, Nora, Autumn, and Kat spend the summer together hanging out, playing music, and becoming best friends, until something changes the trajectory of all their lives after 27 years of silence between them. What other movie does that sound like? Where
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
That was Stand By Me like that? No, Stand By Me had the weird ending at the end where they did the montage. What happened to him? Yeah, all right.
Because one of them died, right?
Yeah, one of them died in was it in Vietnam?
Spoilers.
I think it was. Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't know which one died.
Right.
After 27 years of silence, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Just throw a dot at the board.
This sounds good. I bet it has some good licensed music in it.
Hopefully.
Lost Records, Bloom and Rage.
Oh, it sounds like what Stephen King's It. King's It did the
Yeah.
same thing too. Remember, they happened when they're kids, and then they came back years later. And then everybody's favorite PAL world. That's not Lucario. That's Anubis. Which is available on Game Pass. I guess there's new pals coming this summer.
Yeah, it's getting new pals.
Yep. So we can go put them under the microscope and see what similarities they have to other monster-based games. Promise Mascot Agency from Kaizen Gameworks coming to the Xbox One, Series X and S, or Series consoles and PC. Explore the cursed town of Kaisomachi, which we know Machi is city, which is interesting. But recruit and train a variety of mascot friends, help them out when jobs are inevitably met with disaster, solve the mystery of your exile from the Yakuza, help Pinky work through her many anger issues, upgrade your cute Kai truck with turbo wings, and shoot Pinky like a freaking missile. Turn Promise Mascot Agency into the #1 agency in Japan, Go-Go, Michi, and Pinky.
Next up, we have Mod Nation Racers.
Yeah, I was about to say this looks exactly like Mod Nation Racers.
Stampede Racing Royale, good name. Sumo Leamington, I guess it's from Sumo Studios. Secret Mode.
Oh, Sumo made those too, didn't they? Was it Sumo or United Front? Sumo made the Sonic
United
ones.
Front did the first ones, I think. Who knows, man? Sumo's made a random games. You can research it real quick. Yeah. Stampede Racing Royale is a wild, thrilling 60-player online kart battle royale game, which will go away when the servers go down. Take on the world races, and battles, and more to avoid elimination. Take the crown and earn incredible rewards. Discover incredible maps, 400 customization items, and so much more.
There's so many more games to cover. Why was this thing so long and I never heard anything about this show?
Yeah, I haven't heard any of this shit.
There's a couple more. There's just a couple.
So
more.
We got Sulfur, combines first-person action shooter mechanics with role-playing and roguelike elements. Then you have Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. Never played the first one. Embark upon a vast snow-ravaged kingdom in Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. Holy shit, that's a long time.
This is a Tales game. Is it canon?
Sure.
It is a Tales game. I read Whiskers of Witcher at the end of that too.
I would have accepted this as a Redwall game.
Oh yeah.
Sequel to the critical acclaim action RPG or Secret of Nymph game. An old unspeakable evil has stirred in the north, wings black as death and fangs sharp as steel, and thirst for blood rivaled only by their hunger for vengeance. I'm still stuck on why we're not making Redwall games anymore.
Give us a Redwall
Times
game.
and Galaxy. Yep. Meet over 100 alien weirdos in Times of Galaxy Space Journalism Adventure coming to Xbox in June 2024, and then we'll skip on that. Vampire Survivors, which is already available on Game Pass. It's going to get the new laboratory update, which I think was out that day, and then you still have to worry about the Contra-based one that's coming out soon. I think it's like May or June. It's coming out next month, right around when the Xbox showcase is coming out. So I'm sure they're going to do a sizzle reel on that, and that. It's a way longer show than I anticipated. That's your IGN X ID at Xbox Digital Showcase.
Holy shit. That was more than like the normal Nintendo Directs and stuff.
I guess I feel like maybe this is what they're going to be like their last big indie push before the showcases happen around the summertime. So
yeah, the ones that wanted to get ahead of or out of the way of the big June Summer Games Fest.
Which I don't know. I mean, I doubt we're gonna have any big games from Sony. So I mean, this is gonna be Microsoft's show right here because they got a lot of big stuff coming out this year. So
we're about a month away from that stuff, like a month and a week. Hopefully, we get an announcement of maybe the theater thing again. God, that was so much fun. What was that, Summer Games Fest we saw live in the theater?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that when they did the Video Game Awards, they kind of dialed back on it. Not many movie theaters were doing it, so I know the movie theaters are trying to get back in the movie summer season, so it's probably going to be back to being light again.
It probably didn't help that ours wasn't necessarily packed when we went.
I mean, they put it in the IMAX. They probably should have put it in a smaller theater, but
it was in the IMAX one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they didn't just move it over to like, oh, we're relocating you to recliner chairs. I would have enjoyed that more.
Your preferred seating arrangement?
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got more Switch 2 rumors. Peripheral firm claims Switch 2 Joy-Cons use electromagnetic suction. Oh, go on. And have extra buttons. This comes from Chris Scullion. It also claims the new hardware can connect wirelessly to existing Joy-Cons. Renee, I know Renee's got a whole pile of them sitting around. He's ready to use again.
He literally just gave me some that I had to go recycle at a location near my
Seriously?
job. So, because the drift had killed him. He's like a whole bag full.
Oh, Matt in the chat says go Mariners as the Braves are about to kick off the West Coast. Thank you, Matt. The Chinese company, which specializes in making Switch controllers, claims to have, quote, acquired a lot of first-hand information about the Switch 2 as it makes preparations to start creating third-party controllers for Nintendo's next system. According to a new post on MobaPad's blog, the Joy-Cons on the new system will be larger than those on the current Switch and will use magnetic suction instead of the existing sliding rail technology.
Sure, why can't it just be Hall Effect, man? Hall Effect!
I mean, is that in here later on? That's just the sticks, right? That doesn't have to do with the way they connect to the console.
But this is muy important for the drift issue that everybody's experiencing in all consoles.
Yeah.
So.
Is this like the MagSafe connection from Apple? That locking, like, gentle enough to
I'm gonna enjoy the videos when people are. It's gonna be like the PSP thing where when they remember the auto ejecting UMDs when they're shaking it around,
trying to shoot it out as far as they could.
So that's what we're going to see: just people just playing Switch 2 games and it's dropping straight down to the ground,
or like trying to ease in the connection and make it like come flying across the table or something. This follows similar claims from Spanish games website Vandal last week, claiming that the controllers would attach to the console magnetically, though not providing information on how this would work. This may refer to electropermanent magnetic technology, which is a form of suction in which an extremely powerful magnet is controlled with a single electrical pulse. A single pulse can turn the magnet on, creating a very strong latch, and another pulse can then turn it off, releasing the grip. So it would be like a button-controlled snap in there.
Yeah, I only hit that button.
Your shit just falls out of your hands. You're just holding two controllers and the fucking Switch 2 is in your lap or on the floor. Crucially, because this technology only requires a single pulse to turn the magnet on and off, if MobaPad's claims are accurate, then this method requires practically no power and will therefore not drain the Switch 2's battery. It means the Joy-Cons will theoretically remain attached until the magnetic grip is deactivated. Whether incidentally...
until the battery dies.
The battery dies, your shit falls out. MobaPad's report also claims that existing Joy-Cons will still be able to connect, suggesting that even if they aren't attached to the device, they'll still connect controllers in multiplayer games, for example. The Switch Lite already does that, right? Can't you sync those up to a Switch Lite for multiplayer gaming, like tabletop?
Yeah. This is Bluetooth technology, that's all it is.
MobaPad's report also claims that existing... I read that part. It also says the Joy-Cons will have extra buttons. Joining the LR and ZR buttons will be a third pair of buttons, while the right Joy-Con will feature an extra function button below the home button. Let the button speculation begin about buttons.
Some unlimited buttons on a little bit of real estate. Let's keep going. Let's keep adding more buttons there.
Yeah. Well, it says they're bigger, so I guess you're filling up the real estate with something bigger.
Must be whatever to deactivate the magnets.
Yes, you need a pulse deactivator. It always like adding buttons always takes me back to the Wii days where they like that whole shift where they went in that direction of, oh, it looks like a TV remote. You just pick it up and you turn it sideways. And they had like this simplistic thing about how gaming had gotten away from casual the audience, and I think in some ways it's gotten even more casual, which is good. The more people playing games is better for everybody, I think. But this seems counterproductive unless they have a mentality of like, well, everybody bought this thing, everybody will buy the next thing if we just, there's a couple of small changes and everything stays compatible, hopefully. That was me just spin wheel in there. Finally, it suggests the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with physical and digital Switch games, and the new handheld will support 1080p resolution, and the new dock will support 4K resolution. VGC reported in February that Nintendo had internally delayed the launch of its next-gen console from this year to early 2025. One publishing source suggested the delay was so that it could prepare stronger first-party software for the console, while others have claimed the move was made to avoid potential hardware supply issues. That would be important.
Why not both? Why not both?
It's probably both. Why pick one? Why not have two excuses? Two is more solid and sewn up than one excuse. VGC also reported last summer development kits for Switch 2 were in the hands of key partner studios. Two sources VGC spoke to at the time suggested the console would launch with an LCD screen instead of the more premium OLED in order to bring down cost, especially considering the increased storage needed for high-fidelity games. I guess they figured out the storage card thing then?
I guess whatever that 64 gig cards are going to be used on these new ones is what we're saving it for. So.
Oh, stockpiling those almost like cartridges back in the day?
I mean, I'm assuming this technology probably changed for those cards, so it's probably easier to store them on there.
Made it
as
easier.
technology changes, you can probably put more on there.
Yep.
So,
Hope so.
Looking forward to seeing that. When do y'all think we'll see that? This summer, this fall?
It's fall probably if it's coming out early in spring.
But you're killing your holiday sales. Maybe not.
I mean, at that point, it's coming. So I mean,
and they still sold a shit ton of PS1s after the PS2 came out, especially the little one.
I mean, if it's backwards compatible like they say it is, I think it's going to be fine because if you can take that library with you, I think that helps. So
the Switch has never had a price drop, right? It has stayed $299 since it came out.
Price dropped all the time on the Woot app, and if you get the Japanese Zelda bundle,
it is cheaper on Woot, isn't it? Which is an OLED Switch. Those out there looking to upgrade. Last but not least, Game Pass games.
Game Pass.
We already talked about Little Kitty Big City.
The past 3 weeks we've had
Game Pass
stuff. Little Kitty Big City. Yeah, Little Kitty Big City was in the Nintendo thing.
That's where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on Game Pass with Xbox. That's awesome.
And we also got the Kona sequel that we all know and love. Kona
Dos. Friend of the show, Randy, recalls, I guess fever dreamishly, you talking about Little Kitty Big City. He was like, yes, I was paying attention. I heard Brant talking about Little Kitty Big City.
Yeah, when you hear rhyming stuff, you're always paying attention.
Like what?
Like what?
Hey, why is that Little Kitty in the Big City?
But available today, which is April 30th. Have a Nice Death.
Oh.
It's cloud console and PC. On this darkly charming 2D action is an overworked death whose employees have run rampant, completely throwing off the balance of souls and his vacation. Grab your trusty scythe and show your employees who's boss.
That would explain on that ID show. Like, we're showing stuff that's already been announced. I don't remember Have a Nice Death. But then, I don't know.
I feel like overworked death.
Look, man, I can tell you stories that have been experienced today about that, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
Did someone die?
Was
someone overworked?
I did.
Both. I represent both.
Yeah.
Let's see. Continuing, we've got May 2nd, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for cloud console.
This game is so fucking
We're just missing.
good.
Are we just missing one Tomb Raider? Is that it?
Did they give out Rise of the Tomb Raider? I know they gave out Shadow.
Yeah.
Well, this is Game Pass. This isn't giving out anything. Shadow the Hedgehog.
I had to. I'm sorry. It's the year of the Shadow, man.
Who was supposedly voiced by Keanu Reeves.
It's a good pick.
Did y'all see that message going around. Somebody text somebody. It was like,
yeah,
Keanu Reeves is fucking is Shadow the Hedgehog. I was like, wait, that didn't come out right. He's the voice actor.
Yeah. Somebody had tweeted it like, watch, that's what's going to happen. They tweeted like 2 or 3 years ago, and they retweeted it.
Yeah. Oh, they called Keanu Reeves being Shadow?
Yeah.
It's a good pick, man.
No, Shadow is the one with the gun. Does he have any redeeming qualities outside of the stupid game?
I've never played a Shadow game. I don't want to get too far out the weeds, but I'll play when that Generations port comes out. That'll probably be the first Shadow-based thing I ever played. So,
when what comes out?
The Sonic Generations port.
Oh, yeah. He is in that new crossover, or the updated.
I mean, there's a certain generation that loves Shadow the Hedgehog. Like my coworkers, who are maybe 10 years younger than me, love Shadow the Hedgehog. I missed that boat. I guess that was like when I was in high school and they were in middle school. That they love Shadow the Hedgehog.
He's just super edgy, man.
He's just a hedgehog with guns, man. Does he even go fast? I don't even know what happens. So what does he do? He just shoots, right? I mean,
he's just super edgy.
I did introduce friend of the show, Buish, to the Your Name, the hedgehog thing in the Google search and looking at the images.
Oh God,
Brent, you've done this, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, go in there and do your family members.
Brent the
Hedgehog, and just click on the.
You will find a Brent the Hedgehog character. It works every time. It found one for me.
Oh my gosh,
they're out there.
Yeah.
Jeremy the Hedgehog was just like looked like he was on a street corner. He had a bunch of zippers. It was like a Nomura designed hedgehog.
He just left out of the Kingdom Hearts studio.
Oh shit! Everybody played Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on Game Pass. That game's fucking awesome.
It's probably the best one in the trilogy. Gameplay wise, I think I love 2 the most, but story wise, I think the first one was the best.
Story was incredible.
I love the supernatural stuff that they just went away from on the other 2.
Did they really?
So.
I didn't finish.
They kind of went. I mean, it was more grounded, and 2 and 3 was more grounded. 3 was kind of like that environment. It was like a spiritual area because of the Aztec. Was it Aztec or Mayan? I can't remember where it was. I don't want to misquote it, but I mean that region had some of that stuff on there, but it was never to the point like in this first game where you were
on Yamatai. Yamatai was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
What am I looking at? Oh my gosh, what do you have me looking at?
Show us Brent the Hedgehog.
I closed it out. There was only one on there. It was pulling up actual real pictures of hedgehogs, but then it pulled up a bunch of
Brent, turn off the safe search.
Cartoon.
Turn off safe search.
No, I'm not gonna turn off safe search. Hell no. Let's see. Next we have Kona 2.
Back to the news.
Furry Cloud Console and PC on May 7th. Little Kitty Big City May 9th. Cloud Console and PC. All available day 1 with Game Pass. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Cloud Console and
Brother. It's one of Joseph Fares's first games with Starbreeze. I didn't know he did that with Starbreeze.
I think they own the rights. They just did the remake. I remember he was on Twitter talking about like, yeah, this was like one of his most memorable games, and I guess he approved of the remake. So.
A friend of the show, Joel, loves this game. It's one of his all-time favorites.
And that is coming May 14th. Of course, in case you missed it, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is available for PC and the series consoles via EA Play. We already mentioned the Rewinder. There's some Overwatch 2 Season 10 perk bundles with Game Pass perks here. Exoprimal. And then leaving...
Richard's favorite game is leaving, FUGA.
May 15th.
FUGA. It's very geographically or regionally directed there.
Hey, man... They made that game for you,
FUGA.
Man.
What is this? Eastern Exorcist, Eiyuden Chronicles Rising.
That's the prequel one, right?
Fuga, FUGA.
Thanks, Brant. Bring it back up.
Of Steel 2.
Is it not just Fuga?
Fuga.
So start spelling it out. FUGA.
FUGA.
I only say it how I see it, man.
It's fair.
Ghost Lord, Just Cause 4 Reloaded. Narco, SD Gundam Battle Alliance, and Supra Land 6 Inches Under.
Oh.
Sounds pornographic.
That sounds, yeah.
Is that the Geiger game, the horror Geiger game with
that's like that weird. If you click on it, it's like a weird gummy guy. It's like one of those
weird gummy guy, like a gummy Xerxes
guy.
It looks like a gummy Xerxes. Yeah, he looks just like
gummy Xerxes.
I'll be thinking about Xerxes tonight.
Just can't let Xerxes go,
come
man.
back around.
I was gonna say Gumby, but
I'm Gumby, damn it.
Gumby, damn it.
Good job, Brant. I didn't know they made a Just Cause 4. Is that the one with the tornadoes and storms and shit? Like you could ride up into the wind and okay. I didn't know there was a Just Cause 4 then. All right, is that it for news? We made it finally. That fucking ID at Xbox show, Jesus. That thing went on forever.
I feel like I should have paid everybody for that one.
Yeah, no kidding. Was the show longer than our recap of it? That's the question.
I literally saw it go live, and I was like looking at my watch. And I was like, and then I just jumped on the treadmill, and I was like,
I didn't even see it go live. Wario wasn't posting about it. I mean, like there was.
Somebody said Wario said it was live in 15 minutes or something, and then I forgot about it, and then there was no follow up to anything. It was like no update.
I was kind of happy he didn't do the announcement every 5 seconds.
Every 5 seconds.
But I saw Gamatsu was like, hey, we're just gonna update this page when it's done, and they didn't do that either. So
we did it for them. Games played. Well, I touched on. I've not played hardly anything. I need to get back to playing games, especially with friends. I messed around with that Dreamcast cable. I'm immediately unimpressed right off the rip, so I may have saved some people some money out there.
You've been talking about it for like a while.
Yes. Yeah. And I finally hooked it up, and I was... Ooh. Maybe I just got to tinker with some settings, but... Or test out another component connection on that same TV, but it is... it is not good. It's not a quality cable. It looks poorly shielded, but you can never tell. Like, just because the cable's thin, it's not like, this thing is poorly shielded. It's going to give you all kind of interference and stuff, but it does not look good so far. And I've also got, I told y'all about the AV cart that I put together last week. I put it on the AV cart, as one does. And maybe, like, because I've got it plugged into the cart's power, maybe I have some dirty power going through there, and it caused that artifacting and stuff. So, before I give the definitive answer on the Bitfunks Dreamcast component cable, it also supports, so it's RGB out, but it also supports VGA, so you can play in 480p on devices that accept that signal. And it came with that engaged, and so when I fired up the Dreamcast, I got that crazy, like, it's trying to do progressive scan signal. So it at least does that, I think. So I'll hook it up to a plasma or something later and see how that works, but... I got a VGA monitor right here next to me, and it's like, it's taunting me like, you could have just hooked the Dreamcast up to me and played perfectly. But something to try out, and it seems like the Dreamcast component cable's kind of one of those last ones I need to fall in my setup for hooking up and having access to. But that was pretty much it this week for me, games played wise. What'd you guys get into?
Not much. Brant's kind of curious on this one. I played some Helldivers 2. That was it. And my only memory is that I think I played with a friend of the show, Renee, who casually happened to jump on the ship at one of the missions and didn't tell me or Sly. And they were like, "Oh, we got time to go get samples and everything." And the ship just leaves without us. I was like, "What? Did it glitch out?" And like Renee's laughing. I was like, "No, I've been here the whole time." So it could have been nice if you would have told us.
Oh no! Like, mid-mission,
we're sitting there
he
like,
just bailed on you.
On the extraction one, he just jumped on. Like, we were saying, like, man, there's nobody attacking. This is great. Now we can look for samples, and it just flies off. We're like, what the hell happened? It's like, did it glitch out and just send us out? I was like, no, Renee was sitting in there the whole time. We didn't even know he got on the ship. He didn't even tell us.
No, Renee, that was dirty. Renee violated the Helldivers code.
Yeah, next time I see him, I told him, next time I see him jump on that ship first, I'm going to shoot him and kill him in there. So he can just respawn outside the ship.
Can you shoot people once they're in there?
Yeah,
yes, you can.
Oh wow, yeah. Who discovered that the wrong way?
I don't know, but I'm taking him out every time I see him get in there.
Oh, Renee.
I already warned him. Yeah.
He's not. Yeah. I guess he's just not still in the chat.
I'm sure he would try to defend himself. Outside of that,
justification of the murder.
Yeah.
Or of the leave behind.
He was laughing the whole time. I was like, "That's like great." That was pretty much it for me. So I've been busy doing other things.
Is there any big changes in Helldivers? Yeah, I know we all been busy.
Oh, there's been a lot of
really?
stuff going on in Helldivers.
Yeah, it's still fun, man. It's still a good time.
Yes.
So.
I got past that learning curve of feeling like I was left behind level wise and stuff, and I was really having a good time with it last time we played.
Because I think it was like with me, Renee, and Sly, we were playing with some rando, and then I think we were doing the Helldiver difficulty. The Helldiving won the highest one, so which usually just ends up with just one of us surviving, outside of the one bad teammate we got who just kept dying over and over again and just kept hitting the notification to revive him. So I was like, dude, you gotta stop.
You're burning
man.
up. You're burning up all of our respawn credits.
And hits the button to revive him as I'm running around trying to survive. Bile Titans chasing me. He's like, dude, I can't bring you back, man. I'm busy. Don't. I was like,
who plays like
so
that?
I think Renee actually kicked him. He's like, I can't do it.
Renee
anymore.
kicked him?
Kicked the guy. Yeah, he kicked him.
Did he get a nasty gram or anything back?
Good man.
No, Renee's like, he said, I can't have anybody on the team that dies more than me because Renee dies a lot. So, and that was Renee's comment. He's like, I can't have anybody on the team that dies more than me.
I feel called out. I feel like that's me when I play with you guys.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll let Brant finish up here. So.
Shoot.
Brant, bring us home. It's okay if you played nothing.
Let's say I still really haven't done much. Still on my nostalgia trip.
Brant says that, and I put 45 hours in Pokemon Red.
Yeah,
beat that one.
Still still playing Pokemon Red.
Casually ran through Blue.
Beat down.
Started Yellow.
All of Team.
Finished that one.
Beat down all of Team Rocket. Got my Master Ball. Then had to run through the gym, and beat Sabrina to get the Marsh badge. She's the one that has all the psychic Pokemon. So
has anybody been craving Fallout with the show and everybody talking about Fallout again all of a sudden?
I played
a little bit.
I played 3 different versions of it. So I played it on Series console. I did the PS Now streaming, and then I played it on the PS3 with the Retro Tink 4K. So
just to mess around with them. Which ones were you playing?
Just Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah,
everybody loves New Vegas. I have 0 hours in New Vegas.
I mean, that was Fallout New Vegas is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be Fallout 3 because I mean, it takes a lot of the story points from Fallout 2 since it was the original creators and that new studio Obsidian who did it. So I think it finished up a lot of those storylines because 3 was completely done differently from my understanding with when they acquired the license from them. So,
and I know I played. I don't know. I feel like I played a couple hours of 4 before I just finally dropped off, and then
we did the same.
Never played 76. Never played 76.
I felt like in 4 there was a guy leading you around the whole time. Like as soon as you started the game, there was somebody like telling you where to go and stuff, which was the opposite of what I go to those games to do.
I think somebody was complaining about 4 having lack of choices. Like they compared it to the other dialogues on the other ones, and there's like it's more streamlined, and some people like that choice where I can answer 45 different things and get 45 different outcomes, you know?
Yeah. I think New Vegas plays on Steam Deck, right? They're so weird with the verified stuff back and forth. It's almost like just fire it up and see if it fucking works. I got Saboteur because it was $5. It's back on sale again. I missed it that first go around. Cesar said that's it works even though it just says unverified, playable.
I mean, now I think it's playable now. Before wasn't sure the question mark on there, but it fired it up for me when I tinkered with it a little bit. So.
All right, Brant, we keep sabotaging your shit as you bring stuff up.
No, shoot. Other than that, still Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I
thought I was gonna say Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts. I was like, oh shit.
No, that's an adventure.
Oh my gosh, it's 3. Retreading. But I finally made it into Cosmo Canyon. Running around like crazy. I love just exploring everywhere on this map because I that's the majority of my playthrough now I'm at like 54 hours now, and I mean the majority of it is just running around exploring and finding things on the map, doing like the small little objectives and things like that, and combat simulation and this, that, and the other. There's a side mission that it kind of throws you into when you get into Cosmo Canyon, which involves a a person who was a chocobo rider, and then she's a younger girl, and her mom owns the local chocobo ranch, and she got in an accident, and now she doesn't want to ride anymore. So you have to go find the chocobo, and each chocobo in these different regions can do different things. As far as traversal to some extent. So like in one, like the Junon area, you had chocobos that there was actually you would see like chocobo footprints going up certain walls, and those chocobos could actually go vertical and jump up those walls. In this area, these chocobos, you can go on these little ramps, and your chocobo jumps off, and you can glide for certain distances, and that leads to, wait for it, a mini game that is my second reference within 6 months to Superman 64.
Flying through rings.
Because I was about to say, because we talked about how in Spider-Man 2 they had those things where you fly through the rings, and in this, when you are trying to convince this girl that, you know, it's not bad and that you can, you know, that she can ride again, you have to go through these courses. And so you start the courses, and it's, you jump off and you have to fly through different rings that are, you know, different point values, and you're trying to get a high score. So I don't know how we got to this point where people are emulating.
Two of the biggest AAA releases of the past 6 months are borrowing tropes from Superman 64.
Superman 64, but here we are.
People love this 30 years ago. 25.
So, but I finally made it through. Did just about everything I could. To the point where we entered Red's village. He got all excited, ran off, so we took off after him. And now he was talking about how he feels like he's fulfilled his debt to us from rescuing him from Hojo's lab, and how he wants to get back to serving his village and protecting it and doing his duty there. So everybody's like, oh, well, is this goodbye? Like, what's going on? And then everybody just kind of split up for a minute to kind of check out the town.
Did he try to leave in the PS1 game? Was he trying to return to them?
Trying to remember. I think that's where I got to in the PS1 game, is I got to Cosmo Canyon the last time I was playing on Switch. Gotcha. I didn't quite get all the way through, so I'm
Nanaki.
Don't remember. Yeah, Nanaki is his actual name.
Bugenhagen or something is the director of the town. What was that guy's name? Have you met him yet? It's a weird name. The guy that runs the was it like a telescope or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what Barrett's there is, because they study, you know, planetology and the light force of the planet and this, that, and the other. So that's what Barrett wants to go do. Everybody else is like, well, this is, you know, look how cool this town is. Let's explore it. And Kate Sith just goes and sits on the stairs, is like, I want to take a nap. So, and that is where I left off. So I didn't get super far into it because I just get so freaking sidetracked looking at all the intricacies.
Seems like it's easy to do.
The landscape and everything. Mm-hmm. So,
because this is a lot more open world than the first part of the remake is, right?
Extremely. Like, you have that first little bit that puts you through kind of how the first game was, and then it just opens up to, you know, a huge area. So, and then it leads into, you know, boom, you get thrown into another big area to explore, and then another, and then another. So, but I'm in chapter 10, and there are 14 chapters to this, so
you're plugging away.
I'm waiting to hit that fatigue of, all right, now I just want to see what comes next.
Line to the end.
But it it hasn't happened yet. So,
cool. Sign of a good universe you just want to be immersed in. All right.
but that's it
for
me.
Us. We're done with episode 300.
300 in the books.
300 down. However many to go after this. I wanted to thank the listeners for joining us for 300. It's been a long road and some personnel changes and content changes, and we're still going and still people listening and giving us feedback and commenting on the show. So we appreciate you guys being along for the ride. I want to say thank you to my 2 co-hosts for being wonderful, for chatting video games with me every week. It's what I always wanted to do, and then we made it happen, and we're 300 episodes into Brant just put up a turkey emoji. We're 300 episodes into this fun thing, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, appreciate you hosting, and I'm taking late doofies.
Co-host. I'm one of the hosts.
And taking late doofies.
Yeah. You're
What am I doing?
What?
Taking late doofies.
The doofies.
Doofies.
I'm lost. What's a doofy?
All of the SoundCloud fees.
Late doofies. I didn't put
You're thinking of another doofy. Yeah, you're thinking of another doofy. So you call it a doofy?
Oh, those fees are so late. They actually cut us a break this year. I kind of like that.
Why are you insulting me like we're in 6th grade again?
Doofies. Who's a doofy? Yep, it's been fun, and it will continue to be fun, and I'll see where this thing goes, but I appreciate you guys. Is that it for us? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us this week, and we will look forward to talking with you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.